Namaskar, welcome to Rajya Sabha Television. I am Smriti Rastogi. Today we are talking about the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Civil Aviation for the air passengers after the air travel recommences from 25th of May 2020. Now, what the air passengers are required to do according to the guidelines from origin to the airport. Social distancing and minimum touch. Agreeing to the self-declaration form and registering on Arogya Setu app. Digital payments and use of authorized taxis. Baggage limitations. Only one check-in bag and one cabin bag is allowed. Vulnerable persons such as very elderly, pregnant ladies, passengers with ailments are advised to avoid air travel. Ensure web check-in and obtain a boarding pass. Passengers to download the baggage tag or baggage identification number, print it and affix it on the bag at a prominent place. In case the passenger is not able to print the baggage tag, then he or she should mention the PNR number and his or her name on a thick piece of paper and affix it or tag it with a strong string. Before entering the terminal, passengers to ensure that he or she is wearing a mask. Passengers to report at the airport as per revised reporting time, that is 2 hours. Passengers to travel in an authorized taxi or personal vehicle following the norms specified by Ministry of Home Affairs. During transit to the airport, the passenger should take all precautions to prevent infection. Passenger to certify the status of his or her health through the Arogya Setu app or a self-declaration form. Now, what are the don'ts which the air passengers are required to follow from origin to airport? Passenger should not reach the airport late. Passenger should not travel if he or she is staying in a containment zone. Passenger should not travel if he or she has been tested positive for COVID-19. Now, what are the important instructions for the air passengers from origin to airport? If a passenger who is not permitted to fly undertakes an air journey, he or she shall be liable for penal action. The passenger shall give a declaration to the following points: that they are not residing in any containment zone. They are not suffering from any fever, cough, or any respiratory distress. They are not under quarantine. If they develop any of the above mentioned symptoms, they shall contact the concerned health authorities immediately. They have not tested COVID-19 positive. They are eligible to travel as per the extant norms. They shall make mobile number or contact details available to the airlines whenever required by them. If they undertake the air journey without meeting the eligibility criteria, they would be liable for penal action. Also, they undertake to adhere to the health protocol prescribed by the destination state or union territory. The airlines shall ensure that the boarding pass is issued only after the passenger confirms to the above declaration. In case of a PNR having more than one passenger, the declaration would be deemed to be covering all the passengers mentioned in the PNR. Now let us talk about the guidelines which have been issued by the Ministry of Civil Aviation for air passengers at the airport. Passengers should continue to wear mask throughout the journey. Passenger to get down from the vehicle with the face mask on and with required documents or e-documents. Passenger to arrive at the thermal screening facility near the entry gate. Passenger to get himself or herself checked for temperature and display the status of Arogya Setu app to the staff at the entry gate. In case of non-availability of Arogya Setu, passenger should be facilitated to go to the counter provided by the airport where Arogya Setu app can be downloaded. Passenger to show his or her identity card, the boarding pass or e-boarding pass to the CISF staff at the entry gate. Passenger to proceed to the baggage drop counter and show his or her PNR to the staff. avoid using baggage trolley as far as possible. An electronic receipt shall be sent to the passenger. Passenger to adhere to the social distancing which would be specified at the airports through markings like circle, square or tensor barrier. Passenger to complete the check-in procedure and baggage drop at least 60 minutes before departure. Now the guidelines for the air passengers at security check-in includes: arrangements have been made at airports to guide passengers to walk through the pre-embarkation security screening. Passenger to follow the directions as announced by the authorities and divest of all metal on the body to facilitate the security screening. Passenger to bring only one hand luggage as per the specified size allowed by the airlines. Passenger to cooperate with security staff by following the instructions for his or her own safety and security. In the security hold area, passenger to proceed to security hold area after security screening. While waiting in the security hold area, passenger to maintain social distancing and sanitization protocol. Chairs marked not for use should not be occupied. While going around F&B, retail outlets, etc., passenger should be aware of social distancing and maintain hygiene. Also, he or she should be aware of the locations where sanitizers would be made available. Passenger to dispose of all the biohazardous material like used masks, gloves, tissues, etc. in the yellow-colored disposable bins or bags placed at strategic locations at the airport. While boarding, passengers to be attentive towards various communication material displayed at the airport about various health advisories relating to pre-boarding and during the flight precautions. Passengers to collect the safety kit from the airlines near the boarding gate. Passengers to wear mask and sanitize his or her hands before proceeding to the boarding gate for scanning of the boarding pass. Passengers to be attentive towards boarding announcements and reach the boarding queue by following social distancing. Display of identity cards by passengers is a must, and check-in of the boarding pass would be done by the passenger by self-scanning of e-boarding pass. Inside the aircraft, during the flight, passengers to strictly follow hygiene and sanitation, face-to-face interaction to be minimized, passenger to minimize the use of toilets and avoid any non-essential movement in the aisles. No queuing at the toilets and only one companion for children and the elderly would be allowed. No meal service in the aircraft. Water bottle to be made available in the gallery area or on the seats. Eatables not to be consumed during the flight. No newspaper or magazine will be available. No on-board sale of any item. If the passenger feels uncomfortable, fatigued or has respiratory distress, it should be brought to the immediate notice of the crew. Now, what the air passenger should do from the airport to destination after arrival. The disembarkation from the airlines would be sequential. To disembark, passengers to strictly follow the instructions of the crew. Social distance or sanitation should be maintained at the arrival gate, aero bridges, coaches, jet ladders, ramps, etc. Trolleys in the arrival area to be used sparingly. For baggage collection, passenger has to wait at the baggage hold area till the baggage arrives in batches. Transit passengers will not be allowed to come out of the transit area. For the exit from the airport, passengers have to hire only authorized taxis. Passengers to follow social distancing and hygiene while traveling in any mode of transportation. On arrival at the destination, passengers to adhere to health protocols as prescribed by the destination state or union territory.
Well, that's all we have for you. We will be back with more such informative videos. Till then, take good care of your health. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.